doing well. Today is solar eclipse day. We have been anticipating for weeks, and the day's finally here. It looks like Texas, where I live, has the best view of the eclipse, so we hear all sorts of emergency preparations. Looks like a lot of people have traveled from out of state to be here. The national parks are full in capacity, also the hotels. And I just also heard that the hotels has raised prices to 48%, higher than what it was last year this time. It's very interesting how people are so excited to come and see the eclipse. Unfortunately, it's going to be a cloudy day, so I don't know how much of it we can see. It's work from home day for us, so we're staying at home. And Josh got us the special certified glasses. I'm always so afraid because I don't have a really good vision anyways, to try to see things. And I've seen eclipses before in my life. I mean, they're gorgeous and kind of rare occasions. You kind of feel strange how, like, at noon you'll have a complete darkness. It's going to be this one 4 minutes long apparently, and the idea is that the moon is going to be crossing right on time to cover the sun. So the moon's going to be between the earth and the sun and covers entirely. So for the entirety of that 4 minutes that is passing, we're going to have a complete darkness. That would be so cool. Rumors and conspiracies online. It looks like there might be some cell phone tower interruptions, maybe because people are going to be streaming live. The load of the data transferring is going to be more than normal, and there's going to be internet interruptions. I was told to save water. I'm charging my phone block the battery right now just to be sure. So at least I can use my phone for emergencies if I can get through. I'm gonna go save some water just for safety reasons. But if I'm able to see anything, I'll share with you. And yeah, we're just waiting around right now. It's like 11:30 right now, so it should be here in 30 minutes apparently. So there's like live streamings, and there's a space camera that is also going to be sharing that, which is nice because if the clouds won't allow us to see, we can see it live from the cameras installed in the space. So that is all I have. Yeah, well, let's see what the eclipse looks like. I'll try to film and share the excitement. By the way, it's been a couple of nights now that I have been staying up because I need to do the things that I want to do on my schedule. So I've been going to bed at midnight or 1 and waking up at like 6:37, so I'm very tired. The first 2 days was okay, but now it's like on the third day of repeatedly doing that. So I'm getting really exhausted. So if my energy is low, it's because I'm just exhausted. I've been having to catch up on my training from work, edits and stuff. So that's the reason. So we decided to go to the neighborhood park. Apparently there is a watch party. So yeah, we're gonna head out there now.
How's my makeup looking? I've been testing some products for my makeup kit for the bridal makeup appointments that I have coming up. I think it looks pretty bridal. Yeah. I'm mostly testing on the color combos. So yeah, I think I'm getting a hang of it. Yeah, but I wanted to tell you I finished up these 2 books. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that I finished both of these 2 books. I don't have any more Brene Brown books in my library anymore, and until foreseeable future, I'm not planning to read any more of her books. I think that was enough of a roller coaster. Still, I feel like the reading didn't get any better. Like, yes, I got used to her writing, but still it's not my favorite genre and a writer. This book, I think, didn't really make any difference. Everything was the stuff that she has already talked about. This one, though, had a lot of good topics, a lot of things that I felt like I benefited from learning. So yeah, if you are planning to read any of her books, this one was a good one. And then the one that I read before, what was it called? I forgot. Dare to Lead, that was kind of alright. But I feel like from the Daring Greatly, I think you would benefit a lot more than the other books that I've read. Let me see if I have any comments. I don't really have much. I only have 1 page for each. So for the Braving Wilderness, she said, if there's any conflicts, the most daring things to do is to ask them, tell me more. So if someone's unagreeable with you, unhappy with something that you did, instead of being defensive right away, just asking them to tell you more, so you can get a little bit more in-depth reasoning for where they're coming from, instead of being like, no, that's not me, you're wrong. Yeah. So she says, trying to understand what's bothering them, so understanding from their perspective, so you can understand them. Which is interesting, because I don't think that is something naturally we come about. Like, if someone's coming to me and they're unhappy with my performance, I would say, tell me why. It's not like you're moving it from yourself to more of like understanding them. What about me bothered you? Oh, you're not meeting deadlines, so I'm falling behind on my task or something. That you understand a little bit more. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, it says something about it's so important to meet people in person. So if you have a lot of friends online, that's perfect. Online is great to gather people, but make sure to meet them in person, to have small interactions, eye contact, hand shake. All of this is psychologically helping us to once a week at least have some sort of human interactions. So she says social media is good in creating communities and building connections, but make sure you follow up in the real life. That's where true belonging creates. Okay, that's all the comments I had for Braving the Wilderness. So there you have it. If you have more comments, you've read this book and you like to let me know. These are this 1 page is all I got. All right, still 1 page for the next one. From Daring Greatly. From Daring Greatly, I have these comments. Let's see. So she talks about shame, perfectionism, and vulnerability. Vulnerability. And these are the same topics she goes over and over in every book mentioning, and that's the reason I feel like, maybe instead of publishing books every 2 years, it would have benefited if you just wait every 5 years and publish a book. Just an idea. I don't know. Who am I to make a suggestion? But yeah. That's how I felt. Ooh, this was very interesting. It said, shame. So what disappears? Shame as words. So you feel shame when you're not able to verbalize something and just hold it inside. How you can heal from shame is describing it in words. And very matter of fact, like someone yelled at me. Why did they yell at you? Oh, they thought I was driving way too fast. Okay, and what? And that caused them to feel uncomfortable passing the street, or pedestrians didn't feel safe. So when you verbalizing it, it takes the shame right away. It turns it into something that you can actually understand, versus, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad driver, Facing shame is necessary in order to be vulnerable. Writing about it, matter-of-factly, describing it to someone, matter-of-factly, yeah, that's how you battle shame. The less we talk about shame, the more powerful it becomes. So the difference between guilt and shame is I am bad. I'm a bad driver, I'm a bad person, and guilt is I did something that was bad. So you feel guilty when you think your action was bad, but you feel shame when you feel like you are a bad person. And that's why it's so important to heal shame, because you're attacking your core value of who you are. Oh, she talked about, the concept that some people, I think, has a name too. So you think of the worst case scenario because you're trying to protect yourself. You are so worried about the future. You're like, what if something happens? And then you start to plan out the worst case scenarios. And that's just because you're trying to protect yourself from the painful surprises. But this doesn't work. So they said the best way to deal with the pain of painful surprises is not to imagine it and run scenarios in your head. It is to live at the moment. And if you're worried, what if something happens, my dad is sick, he passes away, right? So instead of worrying about that or just imagining things, start to live at the moment. Enjoy the best time you can with your dad at the moment, because when that thing happens, at least in your heart's we've had a good time, the best I can to spend time with him, that sort of thing. Just use the moment, opportunities to enjoy it to the fullest. She says something about her personal life of, people have been attacking her online and stuff. And she said, when they were attacking me, it was so important to set boundaries, because people are trying to hurt you by the social norms, because they understand, inherently they understand what is bothering us is being fitted and belong to the society, so they're trying to attack that. Things like, oh, as a woman, what is the definition of an acceptable woman? So they would attack that. Oh, you're not a good mom, or you're fat, you're not physically attractive in our society. So those are the things that they try to hurt you so bad with. So that was interesting. She said, when you're trying to self-censor yourself because you're trying to protect yourself in the society, be careful of the wording that you use in your head. And then she had some definitions and differences between belonging versus fitting. Fitting is that when there is a group already and they have certain characteristics and you want to fit into this group, is by incorporating those standards. There's a group of girls, everybody's got their lips done. So in order for you to fit in, you get your lips done as well, so you feel fitted. So she said that this type of group dynamic doesn't bring you happiness. What brings you happiness is fully belonging to a group instead of fitting into it. And in fully belonging group is when you can be completely yourself and still be accepted. But fitted groups, I guess they're more superficial, but it's more accessible. You see it a lot easier out and about. But she said try to look for groups that you can be fully belonging into the group as your authentic self, and that's where you feel fully connected and secure and be part of that organization rather than fitting. There's a lot of fitted available groups out there. So I thought distinguishing between those two concepts is interesting because I never thought about it that way. So it was a little bit healing in that process, because I remember growing up, it was a lot of groups that I was trying to fit in. Even when I moved to the States, the initial groups of friends, I was trying so badly to fit in. They were encouraging you as well, you know? Everybody's buying from this, like, I don't know, pair of jeans from the store. And, you know, just you feel like, oh, I'm part of group, I'm one of them. And it just felt like, you know, we're looking for the next item that comes in and you have to buy so that you can fit into that group. And many years later, I never talked to any of them. They never cared, you know, in a deeper level or kept up when I left that group, because just life, you know, I moved school. So it makes perfect sense, you know, because the structure of that group was already shaky. It wasn't meant for fully belonging and connections. It just served a purpose for a short period of time. So yeah, that is all I have. I am so happy I got 2 books out of my library, and this is what I'm trying to do this year. I think I mean, I get sidetracked a little bit, but I have a lot of books in my libraries. I have 2 on either side and it's just full. And then I also have like stack of books on the ground. And I'm trying to get through these books. Some of them are super old, like these books were, but it's just been sitting into my library and I want to just knock them out and so move on with new reads. So I'm like incorporating stuff, you know, here and there. So I can't fully commit to just reading library books from many years ago in my possession. But I think I'm making some progress, and that makes me really happy. Yeah, I'm trying to always have like a nonfiction and fiction combo going. Fiction world is so beautiful, mystical, imaginative, creative. But I feel like I need some reality, and when I come to the nonfiction world, I just feel like, oh, it's just too much. I just need some creativity and some magic in there. So I always go between the 2 of them, always. That's how I read. Yeah, like, let me know what you thought about Brene Brown. Okay, let's go make some dinner. I have been craving Mexican food, and I have some peppers, and I think I'm gonna do chicken and cheese stuffed pepper. Yeah, so let's make dinner now. It's bedtime. Today was very chill. I feel like it was cloudy, so I had like this whole vibe of just chilling out, and because of my sleep pattern has been impacted, so I just sat through being in the moment. So I'm about to go to bed early today, so tomorrow I'll start a very productive day, getting back into routine. But yeah, I just made dinner, and afterwards we watched Shogun. My dog's coming here so we can go to bed. Yeah? Okay, go to bed. Let's go sleep.
Okay, so the eclipse turned out to be super cloudy, but we got so lucky for a little bit of a time period. We got to see the full total eclipse. And apparently, we were the luckiest group because I have a friend who lives a little bit away from us, like a town, and she wasn't able to see the full. The clouds were pretty low today, and so in their area, they never left, and so they weren't able to see the full. They saw some partial, but I feel super lucky that we were able to see the full, and it was so beautiful, and it was such odd experience, to see that the planet that we're on is moving so fast. So they said the eclipse takes about 4 minutes, but it was way below. So I think it lasted, say, if a minute, it was probably less. But then again, we had the clouds, so we weren't able to see and experience the whole thing. But it was very, very interesting. I wish that we had more fun nature related events happening. I feel like we're so lucky that our planet is so safe, and it kind of goes on the back burner that we're actually in a moving planet that moves all the time, but it's so stable the way that it's being managed that we're like forget about it and do our own things all the time. So this was a nice reminder, putting things into perspective of how our world is making us this stable, safe place, and that was really nice. That was the message I got from today. Okay, we're gonna hit the hello, and I hope wherever you are, and you're doing very well. If you were able to see the eclipse, do let me know, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.